One of the most notable things about the Beijing X55 is how gorgeous the car looks. On the outside, the front is sharp, angular and aggressively scowling. The LED headlamps are a head-turner with a cross-dissolving front bumper grille. The body is curvy yet sleek, slicing through the air. The rear of the vehicle is more subdued compared to the front, with a slim light bar nestling the Beijing badge in the center. The standout feature here in the rear would be the crafted spoiler. The cherry on top would be the large darker grey blade-style wheels to suit the aggressive front. Overall, the Beijing X55's exterior is attractive. The interior of the Beijing X55 aims to be minimalist in approach. Grey tends to be a bit of a bland color when used in car interiors, but the Beijing X55 here executed that color with feng shui in mind. The grey shades paired with different textures make the interior feel considered and at the same incorporate the technology-focused interior well. The materials used here are mostly leatherette and soft-touch plastic. Space is aplenty here, both front and rear, with the rear seating, even for the middle seat, quite spacious and comfortable. The boot area for the Beijing X55 is quite shallow because the chassis was designed with EV and hybrid propulsion in mind, so battery packs tend to take up some space that could be otherwise used for more boot space. Otherwise, you get 350 liters of boot space, which is fair but could be better. The rear seats do fold down with a 60-40 split though, which can increase boot capacity. Considering that Daimler has a hand in the Beijing X55, one would expect the same level of comfort you'd find in premium Mercedes-Benz vehicles. You are correct in thinking that. Our only issue with the convenience features in the Beijing X55 would be the placement of the shoulder bolsters in the front seats, which need to be either placed further down or just larger to accommodate a wider range of body builds. The infotainment system in the Beijing X55 lacks, unfortunately. The speakers are passable but lack punch. There's no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay support, and the only way you can connect your smartphone to the infotainment is via Bluetooth, to take calls and play music. Or you could connect by using Carbit Link, a third-party mirroring app which isn't that good to use. If anything, the infotainment system needs to be outsourced. It's worth mentioning that the infotainment screen is also the control center for climate control and other vehicle settings, which needs better language localization and perhaps physical buttons to operate certain features like climate control and driving modes. The rear seating is well crafted and properly angled. The NVH, noise, vibration and harshness levels are next to none. The vehicle is quiet and pleasant. The BAIC Beijing X55 range is powered by a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine producing 135 kilowatts of power and 305 Newton-meters of torque. Power is sent to the front wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. This gearbox is well programmed and suitably responsive. The engine has some poke but suffers from a noticeable boost threshold, the point where a turbocharger creates positive boost pressure, from low down in the rev range. In instances where one would need the engine to be responsive, like turning right at an intersection, it can be quite noticeable. Once the engine is on song though, it moves gracefully. Hands down, the star of the Beijing X55's performance would be the handling. It's insane how dialed in, dynamic and even comfortable the suspension tuning is for this vehicle. It's fun to play with and pleasant to cruise around with. Steering feel is satisfying in many situations. The recipe here is not at all complicated, with a combo of front McPherson independent suspension and multi-link independent suspension. The Beijing X55's claimed fuel consumption is 7.7 liters/100 kilometers. On the safety front, it offers dual front, side and curtain airbags, in addition to anti-lock brakes, traction control, electronic stability control, electronic brake force distribution and a tire pressure monitor. Chinese NCAP have awarded it 5 stars. The BAIC Beijing X55 certainly shows what BAIC is capable of in the design, technology and especially, suspension department. For what you're getting at this price point, this vehicle has particularly good value. Refinements certainly need to be made to the infotainment, engine power delivery, and user experience, but other than those, the potential is there with this SUV.